The Clarkston Area Optimist Club welcomes you to the sunny side. Hosts for the sunny side are Deborah Berry and Alan Partington.
Hi, I'm Gary Bigger. I'm the member of the Clarkston Area Optimist. I'm also the Optimist Large Grant Chairperson and the principal of Renaissance High School. And I'm here today just to talk with you a little bit about the large grant process. Typically we do twice a year. We'll take the grant money, divide it in half, and 2 times a year, once in the fall and once in the spring, we'll provide the opportunity for people to apply for grant money in order for them to provide academic or social emotional support for students. We create the application, set the deadline. That changes depending on the year, spring break, fall, trying to get things in. But we try and set the deadline a good several weeks in advance. It's put out on the Optimist website, and it's also sent to all the principals in the school in order to have them disperse it to their staff. After that goes out, there's the deadline comes, and there's about a week between the deadline and when we gather all the information in. At that point, I will take all of the applications and I will process them, and I put them into a spreadsheet that looks something like this in order for us to have an overview of who all's applied. And then behind that is the actual applications. I'll send those out to the committee members, and we'll set a date and time to meet in order for us to review each of these individually, have good discussion, kind of figure out what we can do. This spring has been an interesting go because we've have about 2/3 more applicants for financial support than we have actual funds. So it'll be a large task this year. But what we'll try and do is provide the best that we can for the students of Clarkston.
Hi, I am here with Jim Evans. He is a charter member of the Clarkston Area Optimist Club. How long ago, Jim?
37 years. I'm charter president.
Charter president. Okay, I should have said that. I apologize. My name's Debbie Berry, and we're bringing you some information today about the large grant committee here at the Clarkston Area Optimist
Yes.
Club. What can you tell me, Jim?
Well, I think it started probably about 12 years ago, and we had a member of our community that knew me and was at my house just visiting, and we were talking about what the club was doing, and this person said, I'd like to get involved. I don't want to be showing up at the club, but I want to help. I said, well, what can you do? Well, he said, I can give you a check for $50,000. I said, what the heck? Yeah, exactly. And he has done that every year.
Awesome.
Well, he's actually done more than that. Last year, because we're trying to build a new park on Intercentennial Road, our community was down like $80,000. We needed to match funds with what the state was going to give us. And the head of Parks and Recs called me up and said, Jim, I need you to help me. I said, do what? He said, raise $80,000 by next Friday. I said, yeah, good luck with that. As it turned out, he was in town from New York, this gentleman.
Yeah. Came
over to my house. We were sitting and talking. And I told him what we were trying to do. He said, well, I'll put 50 on it. And I said, I can't take 50 because we need 80 by Friday.
Oh, wow.
So I just had to give you the 50 back. And he looked at me and goes, okay, I'll give you 80. So he actually wrote me a check for $131,500 last year so that the park could get 80, the club would get 50, and then we would get 2 benches at Crooked Lake on Independence Oaks in memory of his son who had passed away, and one for our club.
Okay.
So that's what he's done for our club. He's given us a chance.
So we have a very generous benefactor, and that filters right into the large grant group.
Yep.
Where does that money go?
Well, people submit grants to us, and it's usually relative to the schools. Most of the money goes to schools because we're limited in what we can participate in. This gentleman wants us to dedicate it to the Clarkston community schools, primarily. Generally, we just find people that know what we're about, and we can assist them in achieving their goals, which is always our goal of making children have a better lifestyle in Clarkston community. So
I was just going to say that. I was just going to close it out by saying this really aligns with providing hope and a positive vision for our youth in Clarkston.
Yes, it does.
Thank you for that information,
My
Jim.
pleasure.
the large grant committee considering funding requests.